Hello everybody, we are Milky Chance, this is Clemens, and I'm Philipp.
I wish I was a disco boy, moving like I'm paranoid. I wish I was a disco boy, I should be dancing the pain away,
It's we started working on a lot of new music in 2020 when the pandemic started because we couldn't tour, and so we went to the studio a lot, and then we started recording and writing a lot and released 2 trip tapes because it just felt like we wanted to share the process we were in, but we didn't really feel like it was an album yet. And then by the end of 21 we kind of had a lot, so we were actually starting on working on the album, and we finished it last year, end of last year. So I don't think it felt like reinventing. I think it felt more like growing and developing in a way of there was a lot of space, because we didn't have dates ahead, and it was a very stress-free time because we could be home, and we also could live the life that inspires us. And so it felt very free and natural and actually enjoyable. So I don't feel like it was too much of a challenge. I think it's just it stands more for embracing the confidence to allow any sort of emotions, as well as the one where you feel more introvert or shy, and it's more of embrace the chaos in a way, if that makes sense. Because I think in a phase in the pandemic where we had a lot of time and it was more of a settled time, I think you have the space and time to actually go through your emotions you had a lot. It's not necessarily out of the time right there, it's more the experience we had over years and emotions you met there, and then you have this time to really digest that. So and again, the title is more meant to embrace that. It's more of allow it.
Yeah, it's also okay not knowing where you want to go. Yeah. Natural. I mean, intuitionally, I think it's just. I mean, it is what we want. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done it. But it's just what we felt while doing it,
right?
And while creating it, and it's not that we were, thinking we want to go more towards this direction or this direction, because I feel this album is all over the place, musically, just as us being interested in music on a very broad range. It just shows that, mirrors that.
It's funny that this track is on, which is what did you mean by love? This is a great track.
Yeah, it's very
good. Anyway, I think the pandemic didn't really dictate how we felt about love. It was more it again gave us a time to write about, as you said, experiences and things we went through. And I mean, love is such a universal thing on so many levels. You can, in any sort of relationships, feel. And
you can also write about it from a even years later, for example. I mean, for example, Colorado, that song has that vibe and attitude of being heartbroken and being a little, fuck that, I'm gonna get high.
Right, it's more.
But none of us was heartbroken when we wrote the song.
Right.
But we know the feeling. Everyone knows the feeling, so you can relate to that. Also
Right. I think we always kind of start writing songs very much based on the music, and also lyrically we kind of get an idea phonetically of melodies that come to us, and then we just kind of work with a pool of experience that, as he says, can be laid back in years. It's just more the music gives us the entrance to like speak about something that we've been through at some point, but not necessarily at the time.
Yeah. I mean, it depends, actually, because sometimes it depends from like it changes, or it can change from song to song. It can be different. Some songs they come pretty easy, you know, very fast, and like some like you just work on that one line forever, or like that one part of the song, the chorus or the verse or whatever. We all had that. Like we had, I think, for example, Colorado was written very fast, and then we worked a lot on the production.
Not too much actually. I
Not
think
too
that
much.
was generally
Yeah, it was very
where it
fast.
happened.
But then like synchronized, we had that first part, and then we were like really like looking for ages for a verse for a verse that fits in there.
Right.
And we couldn't find it, but we had to do it again and again. So it is but I mean, like, for us, I think like we probably, I feel like the music and melodies maybe a little more easier, but it's like also, and then we take some time to get the lyrics right.
Yeah.
That's just how we work.
Yeah.
But also we can. Yeah.
Because I love the way we synchronize. We synchronize. Let the moment crystallize. Don't think twice. Yeah.
I think it's there's some sort of in the process where you just don't have ideas anymore, or you can't, you know, when you work on a song and then you have a demo and then you do more production, and it's always like during the day you work on it and then you go home and it keeps like going in your head, like I think we should try to make it like this and that, and then I think at some state there's not much happening anymore where you think, oh, maybe we should try this, and I think that's kind of like a belly feeling that we trust when like we think like, I don't know, like there's not ideas coming anymore how we want to try things or change things, and it really just feels good. And I think that's kind of the process we trust, that when we kind of feel like this is it. Sometimes of course it's a little harder because you might still have ideas, but I think mostly it's coming. At some point you're just like, I don't have any more ideas what to change, and then that's pretty much.
But then also you have to let go. You know?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
because you could go on and on and on and on.
Probably.
But yeah, at some point you also have to. It feels like it's like quite good. Maybe we should leave it as that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, I think the newer the song, I guess it feels so fresh that playing that live really is so fun at all. But for example, old songs, we do that. Like older songs from like the first or second or third album, when we rehearsed for the last tour last year in Europe, we took songs and rearranged them and changed stuff, and like it's fun to like play with new ideas, as you say, because like I think it's for us, or generally for artists, it's always like you need to feel in the moment that it is creative what you're doing. So like you don't want to repeat yourself, also not live. So for sure there's like but it's not so much with new songs, I think. Like if you create an album new and then you just try to like get that on the live side. I mean, you change little things because not everything will always like one-to-one translate into live. So some things you change, but it's not as much, I'd say, as like with older songs where you really kind of feel like we should rearrange that a little bit to feel fresh again.
It's always exciting. I think we're good at managing our expectations. You know, of course there's excitement, but of course I think like we want to keep it healthy and like not put too much pressure into ourselves, that it has to be like super successful and this and that and blah blah blah. I think we're like I mean, like what we feel now because we already released 3 tracks, and you can tell like there's like good feedback from our fans, and like they seem very excited and happy. That's the reaction that we have now, and that makes us happy, and that's a good feeling. Like not really like caring too much about numbers and stuff like that. Of course, that's also like, you know, from time to time, like our team tells us what's going on. But yeah, I think it's exciting. It's good, and we'll see where it goes.
I mean, I think we just always want to enjoy, you know, as it always has to be fun. It always has to be fulfilling. Once you're losing fun, I think something is wrong. So as long as we are enjoying and having fun, all good.
Call me back no matter where you are.